What has been some of my favorite games that I got to play last year? Well, let's talk about it. Now, before we dive right into this video, I just want to let you guys all know that all these games that I'm about to mention did not all come out in 2022. Most of them have, but these were all games that were new to me last year that I got a chance to play. The reality is I have a family and a full-time job, so I don't get a lot of time to play all the newest and greatest games. But with that being said, let's just dive right into this video, starting off with honorable mention. So the first honorable mention on this list, I do have Swarm. It's a fantastic game that came out last year, but I only got a chance to play this game twice, and that's mainly because I want to make a video talking to you guys about it to see if it was worth backing or not, because it was a really expensive game that I had to pass on. I really did enjoy my experience with it. I think it is a great game, but because I only got to play it twice, I didn't feel like it should be quite on this list. But Swarm, fantastic game. Definitely highly recommend it if you can afford it. Now next up, I have a game that technically doesn't really count because it is a prototype, but I really did enjoy this game, so I want to include it on this list, and I want to make more people aware of it, and that is Age of Rome. This is by a first-time publisher, and technically you can't get this because the pledge manager is closed, but it is going to be going to retail, hopefully later in 2023, and I want to let you guys know about it because this is a fantastic worker placement game, high strategy. There's a board in it that spins, and based off what other players have built, you're building different buildings in this game. Depends on the actions that you can take on your turn. Really love the strategy involved, love the worker placement, love the artwork. It's a fantastic game in my opinion. I just want to make more people aware of it. Highly recommend Age of Rome. If you get a chance to get this, try it out. I really do enjoy it. Really awesome components as well. Now let's jump in at number 10 with Flamecraft. I find this a really cute and charming game. I was actually blown away by the deluxe components with this one, and that is why I'm including it on this list. The meta coins, the dragon miniatures, absolutely stunning artwork. It's definitely a game I can highly recommend, especially if you like lightweight, high strategy games. And I definitely recommend getting the deluxe version if you can, because that's just what really amplifies the gameplay and the experience for this game. And speaking about sweet deluxeified components, let's move on to number 9. Creature Comfort, a fantastic dice placement family game. The reason I backed this one on Kickstarter was the sole purpose is to get my daughter to play more board games with me. She is turning 7 years old here pretty soon, and she absolutely adores this game. We only can play about 4 rounds or so, but regardless, she still loves it. I play this with my wife. She thinks it's really cute. It's not overly complex at all. It's very simple. Has a very cool dice mechanic in this where you only know 2 of your dice. So when you push out your workers, you only know that you're gonna get 2 of the options that you're gonna get with those dice. The rest are community dice that are in a shared pool that get rolled after everyone places their workers. And if you happen not to use one of your workers, you get a lesson learned token to help manipulate the dice rolls later to help you get what you need in order to win. You're trying to build a cozy home, and all the items in your home give you victory points. Highly recommend this one if you are looking for a great family game. This was in my top 10 family games back in 2022. So definitely check this one out if you can. Deluxeified components are fantastic if you can pick it up. If not, the retail version is just as great. Now, with that being said, let's jump over to number 8. And coming in at number 8, we have Mindbug, a 2-player card dueling game, where the whole goal of the game is to eliminate the other player's life points. What's unique about this is that there is mind bugs in this game where you start the game with 2 mind bugs, and there's only certain actions you can do: play a creature or attack. You cannot attack with all your creatures on your field. You can only attack with 1 creature. Every creature has a power level and a special effect. And if someone plays a creature that you want, you can take control of that creature by using one of your mind bugs, but keep in mind you only have 2. It is a lot of fun to play. It's fast, it's simple to teach. If you like dueling games, this could be easily added to your collection. I very much enjoy it. Mindbug, check it out. I'll have a link for it down below. Now, if you don't already know this about me, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I love all types of Marvel games. Marvel United, Marvel Champions, Marvel Legendary, and just recently I got Marvel Zombies. So when Dice Throne launched their Kickstarter for Marvel Dice Throne, I had to get myself a copy. Of course, I absolutely love this game. It was really fun to play this. My wife is also a big fan of this one, which makes it even better because it's so easy to teach. You're just checking dice, seeing what powers you can use. My favorite character is Spider-Man Miles Morales. Fantastic game, and if you're not a huge fan of Marvel, the other seasons 1 and 2 of Dice Throne are great as well. But yeah, sitting at number 7, we have Marvel Dice Throne. Now, not only am I a huge Marvel fan, but I love deck building games. And my all-time favorite game is Clank. So when Direwolf Digital came up with another Clank game, I had to check it out, and that is Clank Catacombs. With this one, it's really different because you don't know the dungeon layout before you start the game. So you are revealing tiles, discovering different pathways to take, and trying to find an artifact to take that's worth a lot of points, and then just get the heck out of Dodge. So it's definitely way more frustrating than the other Clank. It's a lot more luck-based, I find, but I'm still loving it. I have to give it a few more plays to decide if I think I like it better than Clank. If you're looking for more of a challenge because you found Clank too easy, then this is definitely something I could recommend if you enjoy the Clank system. And yeah, that is Clank sitting at number 6. Let's move on to number 5. Speaking about deck building games, this next one has been recommended to me by a ton of people, and I can see why. Dune Imperium. Now, this has been on my wish list for a long time because of how many people recommend it, and I love deck building games. I'm not a huge Dune fan. I've seen the newest movie, but that's about it. You really are fighting over those worker placement spots, and you really hope someone doesn't take it on you. It's super competitive, high intense, and you're trying to build alliances, maybe backstab somebody. There's combat where you compete for awards. So much going on. I can see why everyone recommends this one. And I believe this came out 2 years ago, so this one did not come out in 2022, but it was new to me. If you like deck builders, you gotta give this one a shot. Next up, we have Ready, Set, Bet, my new favorite party real-time game. In this game, you are placing bets on horses as they race. The goal of the game is to have the most money after 4 rounds. This one is super fun, especially if you have an announcer that can help announce all the horses racing. If not, there's an app as well. I got to check this one out at Shucks. It was crazy busy at the booth over at AEG. Everyone was having a fun time. Really highly recommend this one. Even if you're not really into party games, I would recommend giving this one a chance. It can be a lot of fun. Coming in at number 3, probably the best push your luck bag builder game that came out last year, Wonderlands War. I have so much fun every time I play this game. It's a blast. I recommend the 3 to 4 player mark. I feel like that is the best way to play this game. I mean, I do play 5, but the Jabberwocky character, if it's in play, is not that great until the new Kickstarter comes out where it is fixed up a bit, where he is more powerful. But I can easily recommend this at 4 players with all the other characters because I feel like they are more balanced. If you don't know anything about Wonderlands War, there's pretty much 2 phases during the game. There is a card drafting phase known as the Tea Party phase, where all the players are sitting down for tea and they're drafting cards on this tea table. And those cards determine what chips you add to your bag and how many troops you put out around the battle areas, which is the next phase, the war phase. And depending on how many troops you pull out will be determined on how many chips you can pull out without busting to win that area, to build a castle, or to complete a quest. Tons of different ways to earn points. Super fun. Every character has a sheet where you can forge chips to unlock new skills. It's definitely hitting my top 10 list for sure. But if that's the case, what are these next 2 games? Well, let's talk about them. Coming in at number 2, we have Final Girl, probably the best horror solo game there is. So much going on in this game. It's highly recommended for a good reason, especially if you like solo games. Now, I'm not the biggest solo gamer there is. I do like a good solo game, especially if I don't have anyone to play with me and I feel like playing a game. I'll bust open a rulebook to see if it has a solo mode, try it out. But with Final Girl, any chance I get to play this, I will. It's just that much fun. The theme is great. I like the whole aesthetic, how it's like an old school horror genre. Pretty much you're playing as a final girl, trying to escape a killer, save victims, rolling dice, playing cards. It's not overly complex. I mean, depends on the scenario. Some of them are harder than others, but it is fun and it's an easy game I can recommend, especially if you like horror and solo games. They mix both really well. And that's why this one is sitting at number 2. And it came out last year. Now, my number 1, I've already kind of hinted at earlier in this video because I'm a huge Marvel fan. This game came out in 2022. It was kind of a surprise, but it's a great game, and that is Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance. For what this game costs and how much gameplay you get in it, it's definitely a recommendation, and that is why it's getting my number 1 slot. But in this game, you're playing as Marvel heroes trying to defeat a horde of zombies and complete your mission. If you're new to Zombicide, to wrap this up quickly, this is pretty much a dungeon crawl game where you're going to be playing as certain characters with unique abilities and hunting down a crap load of zombies. The main difference between this one and other Zombicide games is the fact that you are superheroes, so you have like more health and you have a special ability that you can use gear up points to use to defeat a bunch of monsters, get better attacks. And instead of weapons, you get superhero traits, which is like a one-off ability that you can use. Another key difference with this one, it only plays 1 to 4 players because you're always going to be playing with 4 heroes. Other Zombicide games, you can play up to 6. And yeah, that is Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance. Really cheap game, worth the price. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a like and comment down below and let me know what your favorite games of 2022 were. I'd love to hear what games you guys are into. And check out this video right here if you want to learn more about some upcoming Kickstarter games that are coming out later this year. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.